on the old faithful Pan-European. The bike that I'm most likely to be selling soon. But I tell you what, I love it. I really do. It's an awesome bike. Despite all this protection, taken away some of the elements that make motorcycling what it is, it's still a really enjoyable bike to ride. Let's try visor down again. And I was chatting to my mate, Uncle Jesse. His was the first Pan-European I've ever ridden. And he feels the same way. He wonders if it's something to do with you know, you've got to muscle the bike around a bit. It doesn't just do everything for you. Despite the bike's weight, you can still have a bit of fun in the twisties. The only problem really is if you go too fast into a bend, you do feel the weight trying to carry you to the outside of the turn. I have to drag the back brake a little bit. But yeah, it's still a very rewarding bike to ride. This one's done what, 67,577 miles, and it starts on the button every morning, no matter how cold it is. And the engine and the gearbox is absolutely sweet as a nut. I mean, Honda really did know what they were doing when they put this one together. Not just the Pan-European, but the gold wings. Well, everything from that era really. The fire blades was something else. The VTRs, especially the SP1 and SP2s. But then the VFRs, the NSRs, get a bit of speed up now and see how it sounds. I won't get a very good idea because half the time I'm riding on a naked bike, so you're so sheltered from the wind on this bike. You can just about hear the birds tweeting when you're doing 70 miles an hour, officer. Yeah, most enjoyable bike to ride. Let's pop that visor back up. Yeah, great torque in this motor. Even on windy roads like this, you could just leave it in 4th or 5th gear. Right, that's 3rd. And there's plenty of poke if you want to get past anything. It definitely isn't a fast bike, but it's more than enough. Especially when you're used to riding a Royal Enfield Himalayan and a classic 500. Yeah. Feels like a rocket ship after riding those. But of course, nothing like a modern sports bike. then it was never meant to be a sports bike, was it? What I will say, everything's quite hard work on it. The brakes need a good pull, the clutch is heavy. I mean, if you're riding in traffic, that clutch lever really does start wearing down on you. And I'll tell you what else, the carrying capacity for luggage, the panniers are much bigger than they appear, and using the two panniers and the top box, I think I can get more in this bike than I can in the boot of Twinks' car. I know she's only got a diddy little car, but even so. And you can load this up with luggage and a pillion, and it barely feels any different to ride. Right, let's have a bit of fun in the twisties down here. Wet road, of course, so I ain't gonna be going mental. I know the road like the back of my hand. Every little bump. There's a bit of gravel on this corner usually. There, right in the middle, look. And there's a bump in the middle of this corner that if you're really tanking, it does unsettle the bike. Right here, bump, bump, just as you want to be hitting the brakes. Easy to get that one wrong. Of course, it's got to be a good bike, the Pan-European, because the police used them for years until they changed to the ST1100. This is the 1100. They had a bit of stability issues with the 1300, which it seems comes down to the weight of the equipment that the police were carrying in the top box. Apparently when they got up some speed, not sure how fast, but they would go into a bit of a wobble, which is most disconcerting on a motorcycle. I've had a few of those over the years, a couple of tank slappers.